So we launch one EC2 instance. In that, we'll install Docker and we'll try to create some containers. So log into your AWS account. Okay, so I'm in Mumbai region. Here, let me create one instance. Launch instance, Amazon Linux, take to micro, number of instances one is enough, 8 GB is fine. Then give any name. I'll give name called Docker. Docker, it is 9 p.m. 9:30 p.m. Next, let me create new security group. Docker security group. SH is enough, but open HTTP also. Now review and launch. Let me create a new key pair. Docker 9:30 p.m. Download key pair. And view launch instances. View instances. So this key I use again and again. That's why I'm going to paste this key in my keys folder. Okay. Now let's go inside this instance. Yeah, now open. So minus yum update -5. No updates, right? Now what we need to do, we have to install Docker. Docker is also a default package. By default, you get here. So yum install Docker -5. So install Docker. That's it. So what I'm doing now, this is my EC2 instance. On top of that, I have installed Docker. Then I'm going to create some containers. That's what I'm going to do. So base machine is Amazon Linux. That means here 95% Unix is there. Right? Each container will depend upon this 95% Unix. That is. Okay. Fine. See, I have installed Docker. Successfully, I have installed Docker. If you want to verify whether you installed properly or not, which Docker? You can see. You can verify the version also. Docker space --version. Docker version is 20.10.7. That's the current version. Okay, we have installed Docker, but after that we have to start Docker service. Let's verify service Docker status. You can see Docker is inactive and dead. Service is not running. Let me start. Service Docker start. Yes, now verify the status. Yes, now it is active and running. Right? Okay. And you can run this command also. Check config Docker arm, so that After restarting also, the service will continue to run. Right. Now, see guys, if you want to see list of images, list of Docker images which are present in your machine, command is Docker images. Docker images shows list of Docker images which are available in your machine. But we don't have any Docker images as of now, because this is a brand new machine, right? Except installing Docker, I did not do anything. If you want to see list of running containers, then we use Docker PS. PS means process. Each container generally we consider as a process. Okay, so Docker PS shows only running containers, in our machine. We don't have any running containers. Docker PS-A, it shows all containers, whether they are in running state or stopped or enter. So we don't have any container. Neither we have images nor containers. Okay, that means we don't have anything in this machine, because just now we launched it. Apart from that, we did not do anything. Just we installed Docker. That's it, right? Okay. Now let me create a container. Okay, let me create a container. See, this is my EC2 instance. This is Docker Hub. I'll show you Docker Hub also. In that, we have so many images out there. Okay. Let me show you. Go to hub.docker.com. Hub.docker.com. That's the Docker Hub's website. Okay. Now, suppose I want CentOS image. You type here CentOS, enter. You can see. Don't worry about other images. This I will talk about other images later on. As of now, focus on the first image. You can see CentOS official image. This contains 95%, no, only 5% of CentOS features only. It doesn't have 95% Unix. Suppose you want Ubuntu. You type here Ubuntu. You can see official image. Ubuntu, like that. So whatever image that you want, you'll get from Docker. Now what I'll do, I'm going to create one container. In order to create container, we are going to run this command. Docker run -it. First, let me give that command, then I'll explain. -i-t Ubuntu /bin/bash. Okay. So this is the command that we use to create a container. So what is the meaning of this command? Simple. Docker command start with Docker. Git command start with Git. Git add, Git commit, Git push, Git pull. Same like Docker command start with Docker. Fine. Run command we use to create a container. Run means run is to create a container. Okay, I am creating one container. To create container, you need one image. Yeah, what is that image? Ubuntu. Now, how did we come to know the name of that image is Ubuntu? From here, you can see Ubuntu. This is the name of that image. Okay. So by using Ubuntu image, I'm going to create one container. Okay. Now, so when I run this command, what actually it does? So here two things will be taken. Two actions will be done. Two actions. The first one is it pulls image. Pulling image. Second, create container. So when you run this command, both will happen automatically. So when you run this command, it will pull image. It will pull that image, it will place that image in your EC2 instance from Docker. Then after that, it will take the copy of that image. Then it will create a container. I told you, right? When you create a container, it will take the copy of that image and it will create a container. That's all. So first it pulls that image, then it will take copy of that image, it will create a container. If you run this command. Okay, I'm running this command. I'm creating container. After pressing enter, when you run this command, container will be created, and by default you will be inside of the container. Inside. You'll be in an interactive mode with container. Interactive. That's a high. I means interactive. So by default you'll be inside of the container. Fine. I means interactive. Then what is T? T for terminal. T for terminal. Bash is the shell which is present in bin directory, which is present in top level root directory. So that means to create a container, we need one terminal, one shell. One terminal, one shell. Okay. Suppose here, okay, flight is there. Flight. Okay, flight is there. Assume that there is a flight. Okay. Now, which is there in airport. There will be many terminals, right? Terminal 1, terminal 2, terminal 3. You can use any terminal to reach out to this flight. Right. So what is terminal? Terminal is a gate through which you are entering into the main location. Correct. Okay. You can use any terminal. Ultimately, end result is same. Okay. You need at least one terminal. One terminal. Terminal is a gate, kind of. Okay. So here, terminal in the sense. Shell, you know, right? The black color command prompt we call shell. Whatever you see, right? This black color command prompt is shell. Is shell. Okay. Now, what is the actual difference between terminal and shell? Here in this machine, in EC2, whatever black screen you can say this is shell, black color command prompt we call shell, and this is the terminal. You can see. Okay, let me open one more. See here. Here, right click. Duplicate tab. You can see. Duplicate tab. Again, right click, duplicate tab. So each tab is one terminal. Each tab is one terminal. Okay, each tab you can see. But all are having common shell, only one shell. Okay. Suppose if I create any file that I can see from here. If I create any file that I can see from here, that means you can see 3 different terminals. Each tab is one terminal, but all are having one common shell. Command prompt is same, but these are different terminals. So in order to work, we need at least one terminal and one shell. Correct? We need one terminal and one shell. Okay, let me just show you one. I'll give more clarity on this. See, Control C. I'm not executing this command. Okay, touch file 1. See, I created this file in terminal 1 through terminal 1. In this shell I have created through terminal 1. This one, see, if I do ls, I can see from here also. Right? That means terminals may be different. Each tab is one terminal, but backend all are having common shell. Okay, that's it. So in order to work with Docker, see, you are entering inside the Docker because you are going to be interactive mode. Let me use the command. Yeah, these are right. See, I means interactive mode. That means you will be inside the container. To work inside container, you need at least one shell, one terminal. So that's -t means it will create one terminal. /bin bash means bash is a shell will be created from the bin directory of that Ubuntu, from the bin directory inside top level root directory of Ubuntu OS. That is so. So we need one terminal, one shell. That is so. That is the meaning of this command. Now, if I press enter. If I press enter, I told that two actions will be taken place. First, it pulls that image, then it will create a container. Pull that image and it creates container. Okay, it creates container. So it will take the copy of that image and it creates container. So press enter. You can see it will show the pulling also, it will show clearly. Enter. You can see pulling image. It is pulling image from Docker Hub and it created container. Where are you now? See, where are you? Let me show you. Right now, we are inside container right now. See, this is container ID. When you log into container, by default, you will be logged in as a root user. And you'll be under top level root directory by default. You log in as a root user and you'll be under top level root directory by default. That is how it works. Okay, let's verify. You might be thinking, so I prove it that we are inside container. Yeah, I will prove it. That is, see, what is container OS? Ubuntu, right? Correct. Container OS is Ubuntu. How to verify? Cat etc os-release. Enter. What is this? Ubuntu. That means where I am now, I am inside container. If you do ls, you can see what are files and folders. Those are part of container. Those are inside container. Right now I am inside container. You can see it is showing Ubuntu. Okay. To come out of the container, if you want to come back to reset instance, now press exit. See. When I press exit, now where are you? You are in your EC2 instance. How to verify? You can see, verify the OS. Now it is showing that, hey, you are in Amazon Dynamics. You can see. Right? Now you are back to your EC2 instance. That is how it works. Okay. So that is so. Okay, fine. Now, how many containers we have? We have only one container. That too, we came out of the container. We created container and we came out of that container, right? So what I said, if you want to see list of containers, we use a command docker ps. Docker ps shows only running containers, correct? Press enter. Is it showing any containers? So what is the conclusion? That means the container which I created, that is not in a running state. That is not in a running state because docker ps shows only running containers. So that means our container is in stopped state. When we exited from the container, by default container will be stopped. So if you want to see all containers, whether they are in running state or all containers, we give docker ps-a, that already you know. Now press enter. You can see this is the container ID. This container we created from Ubuntu image. In that container, we created the shell. So when did we create this container? Just 2 minutes back, correct? 2 minutes back we created, and right now status is exited. We are not inside container. We exited from the container about 1 minute ago. Now what is the name of the container? You can see angry _ Keller something. Did we give any name to the container? No, we did not give. But how we took this particular name? Why? So if you don't give any name to the container, it takes default random funny names. Sometimes funny names, sometimes celebrity names, like randomly. Okay, that is not in our control. That's how they designed. So if you don't give any name to the container, by default it takes some name randomly. That's why later on we can rename, but you can see that's how it takes names. Okay, fine. Now, how many images are there? If you want to see images, docker images. The command is docker images. You can see right now one image is there in my machine. You can see one image. Latest means the version, latest version. Image ID, one unique ID. 3 weeks back, someone pushed that image to Docker Hub. 3 weeks back, that we pulled. And what is the size of that image? 72 MB only. 72 MB. See, if you take complete OS, that is 10 GB, means 10,000 plus GB. But here, just 72 MB. 10,000 plus MB. But here, just 72 MB only. That's why I said, right? This Docker image contains only 5%. In fact, less than 5%. That's why it is negligible. Okay. Okay, fine. So already Ubuntu image is there. Now, when I created container, it took copy from that image, it created container. Now if I rerun this command, what actually happens? See, if I rerun this command, that means what I'm doing, I'm creating one more container. Docker and -it Ubuntu from the same image. See, I'm creating one more container with the same image. Now in this, it will not execute the first one because that image is already there, right? Only it will take the second, it will execute second option, second, one. So now the content creation will be fraction of seconds because it need not to pull image from Docker Hub because image is already there. Straight away it takes copy of that image, it will create a container. Straight away. You can see how fast it is going to. When I press enter, see when I press enter, it will be less than seconds. Enter. Where I am now? That's it. I am inside container. See how fast it is. In less than second, correct? So I am inside one new container. This is not old container, guys. This is not. See, Docker ps-a. Old container, ID is B65. But this is 9DA. It's a different container. And you know how to exit from the container. Exit. When you press exit, the container will be stopped and you'll be back to your EC2 instance. Okay. Now, can someone tell me, guys, how many containers are there right now? Anyone? How many containers?
I think two.
Yeah. They are in running state or stopped state?
Stopped state.
Stopped state. See? Docker PS will not show anything because it shows only running containers. So Docker ps-a. Now you can see there are two containers, right? See, two different IDs. Both containers we created from Ubuntu image, right? So first one we created 6 minutes ago, second one just 58 seconds ago. You can see it took some different name. See here, practical _ Antonelli something, right? That's why it takes some random funny names. Yeah, we can change those names. That's not a big deal. We are going to change anyways. Okay, now tell me, guys, I want you to respond. How many images are there, Docker images in my machine?
One.
How many images are there?
Only one images.
One.
Three.
Okay.
3.
Okay, let's verify. Let's verify. See, we have, just write this one, Docker images. In my base machine, how many images are there? Only one. Okay, so we created these containers, right? These containers took the copy of that image.
First image.
Yeah, copy of that image, created content. That's why you can see exactly observe this diagram. In my EC2 instance, I have only one image, 212. From that one image, we created two containers. That means when you create any container, when you try to create a container, it needs one image. So Docker first will look for that image in your base machine, whether that image is there or not. If image is not available, then it will pull that image from Docker Hub. It will keep that image in your base machine. From that, it will take the copy of that image. Then it will create a container. Got it? That is so. See, I'm repeating. When you try to create a container, first Docker will look for that image, whether it is there in your base machine or not. If it is not available, then it will go to Docker Hub. It will pull that image. From there, it will take the copy of that image. It will create a container. If that image is already there in your base machine, then straight away it will take the copy of that image. It creates container. That is how it works. Let me show you. Let's create one more container. But this time, I don't want to use Ubuntu OS. I would like to use CentOS. CentOS. You know, right? Here we already verified CentOS image is there. Yes, you can see CentOS name is there. CentOS image is there. Okay. Docker and -it, -i-t, CentOS. Now observe carefully. This image, CentOS image is not there in my base machine. Correct? This CentOS image is not available in my base machine. Since that is not available, that's why it will try to pull. It will pull from Docker. Observe, that also will be displayed. Now, when I press enter, you can see, unable to find image locally. Unable to find image locally. That's why now it is pulling image from Docker Hub. Okay, see here, it pulled from Docker Hub. Now, what it did? See, it pulled that image from Docker Hub. Pulled image, right? From that it took one copy, from that it created container. That is so. So where are you now? Right now I'm inside container. Okay, so I prove it that we are inside CentOS container. Yeah, verify cat OS etc OS-release. Now, which voice I'm using? CentOS Linux. Correct? That's all. Now, okay, let me exit. I came out of the from container. I'm in my base machine. Now let me create one more container. When I try to create container, this time it will not pull image again, because already that CentOS image is there in my base machine. Straight away, it will take that copy of that image, it will create a container straight away. See how much time it takes? Fraction of seconds only. See, when I press enter, done. That means earlier it was taking time to pull that image, not to create container. That's why I told you, right? Container creation is less than 1 second. That's all. Now press exit. Okay. Now tell me, how many containers are there? How many running containers?
3 containers.
Yeah, we don't have any running containers. All are in stopped state. If you want to see running containers, docker ps-k. Yes, total 4. Because with CentOS we created 2, right? Correct or not? See, total we have 4 containers. 2 containers I created from CentOS. 2 I created. See, I created second CentOS I have created. Okay, just 1 minute back. Right? See this command. See this one. I executed this one twice. You can see. Docker run -it CentOS bin bash.
Yes,
so
yes,
here I
yes.
created 1 container, and here I have created
Second container.
second container. Right? So total we have 2 containers which are created from CentOS, 2 containers which are created from Ubuntu, and you can see it took random funny names. Correct? That's all. Now how many images are there?
2.
Docker images. Yeah, right now we have only 2. You can see CentOS and Ubuntu. So size will be less only. Compared to Ubuntu, CentOS is little bit big size, but still MB is only, right? MB is only, right? That's right. So that is so. That's how it works. Got it? These are just basics of creation of container and basics. Now what we'll do in next class onwards, we will try to go deeper. We'll try to do all those things whatever we have seen theoretically. Okay. We'll learn how to create image from our own container, how to create image from Docker file, how to share to others. Okay, all those things, how to create container in a running state. That means even if I exit from the container, it should not get stopped. And we'll create some web containers, a number of things we are going to learn all these things. Okay, so trust me guys, Docker is very easy tool, but you need to go through. Not only this one, you see when you try to when you listen the class for the first time, there could be some confusion, because for the first time you are listening and this is pretty new topic to you, right? Obviously little bit confusion will be there, but trust me, if you practice, if you revise video at least 1 or 2 times slowly, okay, then things will be pretty clear. That's the reason we are sharing recorded videos, so that you can go through again and again. Okay, so just go through that first video and second video again. Trust me, you will understand completely. This is very, very easy to just, you need a little bit of practice and revision. If you don't revise, even if I explain the easiest topic, that also will create confusion. So revision is very, very important. In fact, for you, for me, for everyone, each and every employee in IT industry, revision practice, these are mandatory. Okay, mandatory. So that's it. Trust me guys, DevOps is the most demanding technology. That's the reason we have very, very good packages. Okay, so that's why practice more. That how quickly you get job, that depends upon how good you are doing, practicing and all. Okay, if you practice more, obviously by the end of course, immediately you get a job within no time. Okay, that's all. Yeah, here if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Till here, whatever we covered. I mean, don't ask questions on future upcoming topics, like say how to, that whatever topics theoretical explain, right? Which we are going to see in today's class. Whatever I have explained in this, any doubts, if you have, please ask.